Hi, I'm Captain Steve Cherry, Sport Boat Development Specialist for Yamaha WaterCraft. Today, we are going to walk you through the step-by-step install process for your new Yamaha audio package. Go ahead and grab your tools, your instructions, and let's get started.
The Wetsounds and Yamaha Exclusive FSH audio kit delivers loud, clear, and crisp sound throughout the entire boat. The deluxe kit includes Revo 6.5-inch speakers, an MC2 head unit, an amplifier, and wiring and mounting hardware. Premium kits also include a stealth 10-inch subwoofer. The number of speakers and amplifier channels vary by boat, so make sure to order the kit for your specific model. Tools needed include flathead and Phillips screwdrivers, standard wrenches, hex wrenches, wire cutters, crimpers, a heat shrink torch, cable ties, tape, and a drill with 7/64 and 9/64 bits. Begin by switching the batteries to the off position. Then remove the battery covers to access the leads. Use a socket wrench to disconnect the ground from each battery. Release the latch and open the center console hatch. Remove the curtains by gently sliding the top edge out of the retaining rail on either side. Then slide it out of the center rail. Unhook and remove the inside curtain. Next, remove the nuts from the back of the original head unit. Slide off the retaining bracket and unplug all the harnesses and wires connected to the original unit. Then remove it from the front. Carefully install the new head unit through the same opening. Ensure that it's aligned and level, then drill the holes with a 7/64 drill bit. Secure the unit to the dash using the supplied fasteners. Then install the cover plate. The display also includes a protective cover. Make sure that all the items have been removed from the glove box. Then center and level the amplifier on the back of the glove box and using a 9/64 drill bit, mark and drill the outside holes. From the front side of the glove box, insert the bolts with washers through the pre-drilled holes. Then thread the supplied non-locking nuts onto the bolts and hand tighten with an 11/32 wrench. Be careful not to over-tighten. Now slide the amplifier over the bolts and thread on the locking nuts. Tighten with an 11/32 wrench. Next, remove the 3 fasteners from the fuel tank cover and slide the cover board out. This will allow access to run the wires. Insert the provided main power cables through the engine compartment, over the bulkhead corner, and into the battery compartment. Leave about 2 feet of slack in the wires. Next, install the fuse box for the main power lead. Make sure there are no wires on the back side of the bulkhead, then mark and drill the holes. It's easier to insert cable ties before mounting the fuse box. Using a 3/16 hex wrench, loosen the retaining clamps and remove the plastic sleeves. Make sure the wire has enough slack to attach from the battery to the fuse mount, Then cut and strip the wire. Insert the exposed wire into the fuse box and tighten the retaining clamp with a 3/16 hex wrench. Repeat for the other side. Snug the cable ties and clip the excess. Using the 4 supplied fasteners, mount the fuse box to the bulkhead. Loosen the 2 nuts on the fuse box. Insert the fuse behind the washers and retighten each nut. Then install the fuse cover. Loosen the positive lead from the house battery, install the positive cable, and reinstall the locking nut. Be sure to neatly secure the leads with cable ties. The other end of the cables will need to be fed into the console. Unsnap and remove the FSH floor mat, and unlatch and remove the access hatch cover. Feed the wires through the same grommet as the steering and shift cables. Try to run the cables as straight as possible. Secure the cables to existing harnesses to prevent them from moving around. Feed the remaining cable up to the console. Then relatch the access hatch cover and resnap the FSH mat in place. From inside the console, continue to secure the cables, then reinstall the fuel tank cover board. Next, install the distribution block on the fuel tank cover board. This is to distribute power to the amplifier and the subwoofer. Using a 7/64 drill bit, mark and drill the holes halfway into the board. Take care not to puncture the fuel tank below. Again, it's easier to install cable ties before mounting the unit. Measure and cut cables to length and strip back the wire. Using a 3/16 hex wrench, loosen the clamps, remove the plastic sleeves, insert the leads and tighten the clamp. Snug and clip the cable ties. Loosen the 2 nuts and remove the metal strap on the distribution block. Make sure to keep the power supply on one side and the ground on the opposite side by bolting on the plates supplied in the kit. That step was not shown. Repeat this process for the amplifier and subwoofer cables. Using the 4 supplied fasteners, secure the distribution block to the fuel tank cover board. Then install the cover. Untape the tubing from the boat side harness that was previously disconnected from the original head unit. Cut off the original square connector. The black and red wires will be connected to the new head unit. The pairs of colored wires will be extended and run to the amplifier. The other end of the colored wires already run to each of the original speakers in the boat. The original speakers will be replaced with the new speakers later in the process. RCA cables will also be connected from the new head unit to the amplifier to complete the connection to the speakers. This will be covered in detail shortly. Connect the boat side USB input to the head unit. Connect the antenna cable. Now strip back the red and black wires from the boat side harness. And using the supplied connectors, crimp them to the wires on the new head unit, red to red and black to black. Now strip back each of the pairs of colored wires. There'll be 1 pair for each speaker. The solid color is the positive wire, and the one with a black stripe is the ground. Using the supplied hardware, crimp on the extension wires, red to solid and black to stripe. Be sure to heat shrink each of the connectors. And neatly secure the wires with cable ties. The other end of the extensions will be connected later in the process. Use a hex wrench to remove the bottom cover plate from the amplifier. The RCA cable harness in the kit supports up to 6 channels. In this example, the boat will only use 4 channels. Each connector on the head unit is labeled. Front line out connects to the amplifier channels 1 and 2, red to red and white to white. Rear line out connects to channels 3 and 4, red to red and white to white. Any of the supplied RCA cables can be used to make these connections. Just remember which cable is used for which channel and be consistent on both ends. Next, measure, cut, and strip the power leads for the amplifier. Using a hex wrench, loosen the retaining clamp and insert the leads. The red positive lead goes to the 12-volt fitting, and the black negative lead goes to the ground fitting. Tighten the clamp. Connect the blue remote wire from the head unit to the amplifier with a crimp connector and heat shrink. If installing a subwoofer, twist together the subwoofer and amplifier remote wire connections so they can be controlled simultaneously. On the amplifier, the remote wire connects in a slot between the power and the ground. Neatly secure the wires with cable ties. Next, connect the colored pairs of speaker wires to their respective locations on the amplifier. It's important to connect these correctly so that sound balancing features work properly. Gray is for the right front speaker, white is left front, purple is right rear, and green is left rear. When attaching the connectors on each pair of wires, keep in mind that positive is on the left and negative is on the right. Strip back the wires and use a small flathead screwdriver to tighten the connectors on each pair of wires. Connect the gray pair for the right front speakers to channel 1. Connect the white pair for the left front speakers to channel 2. The purple right rear wires go to channel 3, and the green left rear wires go to channel 4. Neatly secure the wires with cable ties. For subwoofer installation, connect the blue remote wire from the sub to the remaining blue wire extension twisted together earlier in the video. Mount the subwoofer volume control. It has tabs to be easily connected using a cable tie without any drilling. Alternatively, the knob can be routed and mounted at the helm according to preference. Be sure to bundle and secure excess wire. The input wire for the subwoofer connects to a 3.5mm to RCA adapter and then to the head unit. The RCA output for the subwoofer will connect to the head unit input labeled Zone 2. Since the subwoofer is a mono channel, these connections are not positionally sensitive. When securing wires, be sure to make the fuse accessible. Before mounting the subwoofer, be sure to mark your drill bit 1/2 inch above the thickness of the subwoofer flange to make sure you don't drill deeper than 1/2 inch into the deck. Ensure the subwoofer is far enough out from the fuel tank cover so that it's not blocking the drain behind it. Using the marked drill bit, drill the holes into the laminate and not past it. Using the 6 supplied fasteners, secure the subwoofer to the console deck. Next, unfasten the original speakers from the deck and disconnect the wires. Cut off the old connector and strip back the wires. The new speakers come with 2 sets of wires. For this installation, only the red and black wires will be used. Using a new crimp connector, attach the wires red to solid and black to stripe. Be sure to heat shrink each of the connectors. Secure the excess wire and install the new speaker in place. If you have any trouble aligning the fasteners, you may need to re-drill the holes. Use the supplied fasteners to secure the speaker to the deck. Repeat this process for the remaining speakers. Connect the main negative ground to the negative terminal on the house battery and reinstall all the ground wires previously removed. Tighten with locking nuts. Replace the battery covers and straps. Once the installation is complete, the system can be calibrated as desired, following the guidance set forth in the included Wetsounds Owner's Manual. Power on the system and connect a device to play your preferred music. Use a flathead screwdriver to adjust the default levels as desired. Once complete, remember to reinstall the curtains in the console. If you have any questions, please contact your local authorized Yamaha dealer. Thanks for watching.